So when Obama announced a new cybersecurity office with a new cybersecurity coordinator, he talked about building this new smart grid. Now, who's going to build the smart grid? Remember, all your medical records are going to be digitized. Don't worry, the smart grid will illegally be hooked into those new Xbox controllers we covered. In fact, let's get that video off my blog, the Project Natal video. We're going to play that coming up. We're also going to go through your calls. Well, who's helped building this smart grid? Well, the good people at IBM are, of course. And you can go check it out at their own website, IBM Smart Grid. You know, for decades, power was something the average person did not think cost much. Or, I'm sorry, think much about. Until it went out. And then it was all you thought about until it came back. Not anymore. Climate change, rising energy prices, and technology advances are all forces that have been reshaping the collective mindset of consumers, turning many from passive ratepayers. No, they haven't. Everybody just pays their bill. If they don't pay their bill, they don't have power. They don't have heat. They don't have a refrigerator. Passive. We're all passive ratepayers. 99.9% of us are. What are you talking about? Too highly informed. See, they're trying to build you up. They're trying to feed your ego. Too highly informed, environmentally conscious customers who want to roll in using power. No, we don't. We want to roll in making sure our TV's working, dude. What are you talking about, highly informed? If they were highly informed, they'd realize they're about to get carbon credit crunched. And that this is about a control grid, not a smart grid, a Satan grid, if you will. But here they are, they're trying to placate to your ego. Oh, you're so highly informed. That's why you're going to be paying out the arnis for less power. That's what this is about. And now with the emergence of the technologies that make smart grids possible, companies can provide their customers with the information and control they need to actually change their behavior patterns and reduce usage and costs. Did you hear the last sentence? Reduce usage and costs. They just want you to stop using stuff, to feel like a slave, to feel guilty for having 2 cars, to feel guilty for having a big home, to feel guilty for having a family. Oh, you think it was bad when they told you to conserve water in the summer when there were actual droughts and there was a reason to do it. It's going to be conserve water year round. And that the water's going to be so filled with fluoride and delicious little minerals. Ooh, I can't wait. All right, let's continue to go to your calls. Connor in New Jersey. Connor, you're on the line.
Hey, man, I've been calling in all week, but last night, I meant to talk about those controllers, those new Xbox controllers. I just completely crossed my mind. But, dude, that technology has been out for years.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it's a lot different now. All right, the technology's been there, like I said, for instance, PlayStation, I think it was 2, had Soul Calibur 3. And I remember, I think one of the Tony Hawk games allowed you to do it too. You could just basically take it, it would scan your face, and then you could mold the face onto the model. You know what I'm saying? But this one's different in the fact that it scans your whole body. It'll give you a full body image. It has facial recognition, so it knows, when it's looking at you. And number 2, it has voice recognition. No other camera/controller system has voice anything. You know what I mean?
Well, what I'm saying is this project thing, it started years back, but they didn't, unveil it until the populace was ready to embrace it, because they had this ready for a year and didn't release it until they thought they could, because people 2 years ago wouldn't say, oh, face recognition, vocal recognition, yay.
I don't know. I think 2 years ago you might have gotten that. I mean, people are obviously being more acclimated to technology, but what you're doing is you're putting a living spying device in your home that's connected to the internet in most cases 100% of the time. The majority of Xbox users, especially families, have Xbox Live. So this is going to be hooked up to an Ethernet connection. It has a microphone that you won't be able to cover. You'll be able to cover the camera, but how many people will do that? How many people will take the time to take a Post-it and put it over that?
Seriously.
But then on top of that, they have the microphone, which was fitted into a lot of the cable boxes out there as well. But the microphone is going to catch everything. This will further the Hepting versus AT&T style spying that we highlighted in that Keith Olbermann clip. That's how they're getting all this massive data, through open information networks such as your cell phone and the internet. especially your high-speed internet. So I'm telling people to be very wary about this device. Sure, it looks fun, but is it worth giving up your entire privacy to Big Brother? I thank you for the call. Let's go to John in Illinois. John, you're on the air.
Jason, great work you're doing. Also substituting for Alex when he's on vacation. I just got an email notification that there's a new version of Loose Change coming out, and I see from the press release that you weren't involved with it, but I thought I would just ask your opinion or knowledge of this. Is it materially different from Loose Change Final Cut?
Apparently, it's going to be a whole nother movie. I mean, I'm not involved in it. You know, I've done so many 9/11 movies at this point. I mean, I was involved in Loose Change Second Edition. We did Loose Change Final Cut. I put out Fabled Enemies, which instead of focus on the anomalies is really about the International Intelligence Network. I've been wanting to do this New World Order film, Invisible Empire, for the longest time, and that's really what I'm working on, head over feet. We'll see what happens. I mean, hey, I wish them the best. I hope it's a good film. I don't know really what outside of what's been covered is going to be the main focus, for instance. But, I mean, there's unlimited amount of fodder. You have a new commissioner coming out and saying that NORAD lied. But that really only, I mean, we already knew that. We knew Eberhardt was lying. We knew Myers was lying. The commission even put it in a footnote, who was it, Keenan Hamilton, in their book, Without Precedent. They said that, you know, what they said was so far from the truth, they thought about subpoenaing them. But that's not what it was about. It was about a cover-up. So we'll see what happens. To me, it's like this. I don't think 9/11 Truth is going to get its due until the 10th anniversary, and we really need to build up to that. But until then, I really see the media kind of ignoring it. This 9/11, they're going to celebrate City Year and AmeriCorps on a new level with this day of civil service, this National Day of Civil Service. So they're kind of hijacking 9/11 at this point. I don't think we're going to be able to get that mainstream media attention that we need to bring people into the issue for another 2+ years. And, you know, the 10th anniversary, you know, coming up, God willing, you know, some disaster hasn't happened and I'm still in the same seat, in the same position. I'm going to try to get as many people down to New York City and out to other events across the country as possible. But until then, I really want to focus on this New World Order issue, because most people still think that New World Order means you're some kind of conspiracy theorist or tinfoil hat wearer. They don't understand that this is a term that's now been used for over 200 years and really an idea that's been out there for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And right now we're at that crescendo where they're almost making it a reality. I mean, we have the European Union. This country looks so bad that the North American Union might look good in 1 or 2 years. That's what they're banking on. This is what Sonia Sotomayor and all these other things are about. So I really think that's the main issue of the day. But hopefully this is big. You know, I love Daniel Sinjata. I hear he's going to be voicing it. So, you know, the best wishes.
Great work on Fabled Enemies, by the way. I was at the premiere in New York, and thanks for the time.
Hey, no problem. Later, John. Let's go to Ron in Mississippi. Ron, what's on your mind? Yes, Ron.
Good evening, Jason. Owe you and your listeners a debt of gratitude, sir. You must have quite a listening audience. I was the one who called you last week about the CCW thing, and I received a call today from DPS stating that we'll get a letter by next Wednesday reinstating my CCW.
Well, that is excellent. And let's go over that story. Now, you are a veteran, and you, for the first time, took your VA benefits and went to the VA, and they asked you, you know, all these profiling questions. They then tried to diagnose you with a form of PTSD, and what you had was a conceal and carry permit, a conceal and carry weapons permit. And they tried to take that away from you, and that would be in line with all these reports, these MIAC reports, the DHS reports, where they say the threats are going to be, you know, veterans coming home, constitutionalists, patriots. So they are going to reinstate your CCW.
Yes, sir. I received a call today from DPS, and the individual I talked to, you know, did not want to be named. But they said I will receive a letter in the middle of next week reinstating my CCW. You know, I really was having kind of a tough time understanding it because my security clearance was so high that, you know, I actually worked. I mean, I worked on, you know, shipboard electronic countermeasure systems. And so I really didn't understand why they did what they did or why Homeland Security did what they did. But
well, you know what? It might have been a rude awakening for you, Ron. But at the same time, it's making you realize that maybe the government is getting out of control. Maybe they aren't having your best interests at heart. I mean,
they've been out of control, sir, for quite some time.